I'm going to stop going to the gym at night, he said, as he got in his car at 8 o'clock to work out on a Saturday. Good evening, everybody. This is Zach. It's day 110. Big 110. And I'm going from fat to jacked. It is leg day. I've had a pretty good day today. It's going to be a little dark till we get to the main roads. Y'all will have to forgive me because I don't like having my cabin lights on when driving because that's a hazard. Don't do that. Don't let people tell you should either. It's a bad idea. Leg day. I've had a good day today. We went to a little hot chocolate s'more festival at a local farmer's market that was really fun with the boys. Had some good hot cocoa there, so had to cut the sugar out of the rest of my day. That was really all the sweets I could do today. Was this s'more and a cup of hot chocolate, but did pierogies for dinner. They were quite good. And all in all, just had a pretty good day and heading to the gym. Kind of to piggyback off of some of what we spoke about yesterday. You know, I had spoken about keto. Something to bear in mind when you're doing regular diet lifting, stuff like that is, oh man, you guys really can't see me in this. Wow, this is going to make for great visual entertainment. I'm so good at this. This is why I went into content creation, to shoot videos in the dark so you could see all of my facial expressions. But no, like, so keto, for example, the whole thing is like, no carbs, right? Well, the other side of it is, no, eat carbs, good for you. Like, you do, but I guess the best way to tail off of this is, if we're going to talk about keto, then talk about macronutrition as a whole. Because the reality is, especially when you're, somebody my size, weight loss is 80% of weight loss happens in the kitchen. I should actually, let's even preface that even further. Weight loss happens in the kitchen and at the dining room table. The most effective exercise you can ever do is a pushback and a plate press. A plate press is when you take your dinner plate and you push it away from you. A pushback is when you put your hands on the table and scoot your chair backwards and stop eating. Those are the most effective weight loss lifts you will ever learn to do. But just, kind of tongue-in-cheek aside, I cannot stress enough how important diet is for losing weight. It really is, that is how you lose weight. I mean, at the end of the day, right, CICO, calories in, calories out, you have to eat less than you burn. If you don't, you will never lose weight. If you've ever heard the expression, you cannot run a bad diet, it means that if you work out super intensely for an hour to an hour and a half, you might burn the better part of 800 to 1,200 calories, and that's a lot. You know how fast you can eat 1,200 calories? Double cheeseburger from McDonald's, large fry. There you go, 1,200 calories. Maybe more if you got a large drink with sugar in it. Hour and a half gone. Now, another important thing to remember, though, is you do need calories to live. And if you starve yourself, your body will enter into its starvation mode, not activated by ketosis, everything, and it'll try to start hoarding calories. And that also defeats weight loss. So counterintuitively enough, the key part to losing weight is cutting enough calories off while keeping enough in your system to run your metabolic engine so that you can work out and improve your conditioning. You lose weight in the kitchen, you get in shape in the gym. You get fit in the gym. Now, once you push that past a certain point, obviously things do change. If you're a professional athlete, if you are a strongman, if you are a power lifter, Olympic swimmer, things like that, there's very different caloric requirements for using your body for a living as opposed to just surviving. And that goes true for really physical jobs as well. If you are a manual laborer or you have a job that includes a lot of manual labor in it, you're going to have very different caloric needs than my fat ass that sits at a desk as an infosec manager for my shift. So, you know, you have to eat based on the lifestyle you have. One of the big ones is, you know, the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Not if you work on a desk job, it's not. You know, if you were a farmer and you were getting up at crack of dawn to work for 13 or 14 hours during the summer, then yeah, breakfast was pretty important. Not so much if you work at a desk. It's things like that. It's adjusting your diet to your lifestyle. And while we're kind of on that transition off of that subject over to macronutrition, that matters also. You don't want your diet to be 80% carbohydrates, even if they are good for your energy, because you're going to constantly be hungry. You're going to also, strangely enough, constantly be tired, as carbohydrates do wear you out to digest them. If you've ever had a food coma, if you've ever experienced the itis, that is the cause of that. So you have to balance them out. Protein is one of those things where they've got a pretty good formula in for protein. If you're between the ages of like 15 and 32, anywhere from 3/4 of a gram to a gram of protein per pound of body weight and or pound of lean mass, in the event that you're obese like me. So I currently weigh 428 pounds. And at that weight, I can't eat 428 pounds of protein in a day with my workout routine. It would not make any sense whatsoever. So you do it per pounds of lean mass. And I've got roughly, based on the last body scan, I've got around 230 pounds of lean mass. So I target about 230 pounds of protein. Protein requirements do also go up as you age. This is a very dense scientific subject to discuss, and I am neither fully equipped nor do I have the notes in front of me to really discuss it any more detail than that. There's a lot of other good YouTubers and education resources out there that will discuss. So like Dr. Mike Israetel has a phenomenal YouTube channel for stuff like this, and I highly recommend anyone who wants to get more into the science side of lifting, weight loss, bodybuilding, things like that. Dr. Mike Israetel is a wonderful resource. But this isn't his channel, it's mine, so I'm going to talk about it through my lens here. I've also found that higher protein check in contents will keep your appetite down. Protein digests slowly, and it sits kind of heavy on you and fills you up. Also, so do fats. Now the thing with fats is, though, you got to be careful because they're really calorie dense, which is the problem you can run into with keto, kind of like I mentioned yesterday, because it's very easy to accidentally overeat on fat and blow your calories out of the water. And even if you're on keto, you eat more calories than you burn, you're not losing weight, you're going to put it back on. And it just creates a lot of bad habits. So my advice to all of you out there listening to this would be, you need to build a nutritional focus based on your lifestyle, your body type, what you're trying to achieve with your weight loss and your exercise. Because the pound of protein thing that I just mentioned, or the gram per pound, that's mostly if you're going to be actively weightlifting to utilize it. If you're not going to be weightlifting to utilize it, you might not need that much. You could probably pull it back a little bit. So it is absolutely a science in the purest sense of the word. I just cannot recommend enough to research this, guys. And the information I'm giving here is good as a broad-based platform, and it's good, for me. But for you guys in the whole, everyone's going to be different. Like my nutritional, for example, based on my height, my weight, the way I exercise, I have a BMR that I try to hit of 2,900 calories a day. That might seem high, but I'm 6'5" and I work out all the time. That BMR for 2,900, by the way, is not for my BMR at my current body weight. That's it for if I was 235 pounds, which is my goal. That's what I want to get to, is about 235 is my final target, there and abouts. So I'm eating like I'm going to be at my final weight. BMR for somebody my size working out the way I do at my current weight is like 41 or 4,200 calories a day. I'm not doing that. And that is not an exact science, because I didn't get to this weight by eating like that. What I did get to this weight doing was probably eating about 3,500, 3,600 calories a day and never exercising for years and years and years. That is how you get to this weight. And now that we're stopped, we can have a little bit of light. So build a program that works around you. Talk to a nutrition specialist if you need to. Talk to a personal trainer. Do some research on your own. I have gathered this information over years. I also, I have checked a lot of different resources. I have family members of mine that are in medicine that I've spoken to. My dad, for example, is a physical therapist, so I've consulted him for a lot of what I do exercise-wise. And, coincidentally, he's getting older now, but he's still in pretty good shape because he's worked out and made a point to maintain it his whole life. So, there's a sea of information out there. There's an even bigger sea of misinformation. So we can cut it pretty clean, because then I got to go in because the gym closes here in like an hour. I got shit to do. Nutrition matters more than anything when you're losing weight. Just straight up, no exception. What you eat is what you're going to look like. You have to control your caloric intake. You have to manage your macros. And everybody's going to be a little different. There is no magic bullet. Kind of like I said in yesterday's video, there is no secret ingredient. It's going to be what works for you. But what works for everybody, with very, very rare exception, is keeping your calories lower than what you use and keeping yourself fit and in shape to both use more energy and enable a more active and healthy lifestyle. This is unfortunately the hardest route, but it's the one that always works. So, just got to figure out what works best for y'all. All right, I'm going to go in. I'm going to jump on the hack squat machine because it hates me and I hate it back, but God, is it good for you. So, as always, I am going from fat to jacked. You guys take it easy.